These are the notes for Algebra 1, Measure Up 4. If you have 3 square root of 5 quantity squared, what would you do to get that answer? Well, I would recommend going to your calculator, go to your home screen, and you're going to do open 3 square root of 5, and then either close or right arrow to get out from under the square root, then close your parentheses and then square it. And that's actually equal to 45. So it's pretty easy. You just put it in the calculator, but you got to make sure that you get out from under the square root and that you close parentheses before you square it. All right, the next one's a right triangle. We haven't looked at those because that's really a junior high thing, but you're still responsible for knowing it. Remember that the side opposite the right angle is your hypotenuse. The Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. C is always going to be your hypotenuse. So that makes this a, this b, and this c. So you have 8 squared plus 10 squared is equal to c squared. Once again, go to your calculator, and you have 8 squared plus 10 squared, and you get 164. So 164 is equal to c squared. But we want c, so we have to unsquare that, which means you got to take the square root of 164. So second x squared brings up your square root, 164, enter, and your answer would be 12.8. 12.8. When you have an exponent problem like this, my suggestion is that you store values for a and b. Remember, you want to store small numbers, okay, and you want to store different numbers, and you don't want to use 0 or 1. So I'm going to say that 3 is going to be stored as a. So I'm going to do alpha and math to get my a. And then I'm going to take 5 and store that as b. So alpha and apps gets my b. So now I'm going to put this in just like it looks, okay? It's important that when there's more than one thing in the top or the bottom that you go ahead and put it in parentheses. So I'm going to say open, and we have alpha a, rooftop 5, alpha b, close parentheses, squared. And that was your top. Fraction means divide, open for your bottom, alpha a, rooftop 3, alpha b, rooftop 5. Close parentheses and enter. And you get 17.496. 17.496. Just write that down. That's what you're looking for. So now you're going to check each of these answers. So you're going to say alpha A, rooftop 13. Alpha B, rooftop 7. And it is nothing close to that. So that means that's not my answer. So now you're going to go alpha A, rooftop 7, alpha B, rooftop 2, or squared. Either one works the same. And you get 54,675, not what I'm looking for. So then you go alpha A, rooftop 7, divided by, because it's a fraction, alpha B, rooftop 3, and you get 17.496. That's your answer. Now, if you remember all of your rules for exponents, you could have done it that way. But I really figured that you won't remember them, so you need a backup plan. If you were going to do it the, quote, correct way, you would have said this becomes a to the 10th, because a power to a power, you multiply b to the 2nd over a to the 3rd, b to the 5th, and then you subtract your exponents and put it where the largest one was. 10 is bigger than 3, a to the 7th, 5 is bigger than 2, b to the 3rd, which is what the answer was. But if you don't remember all those rules, the calculator will do it for you. So if it told you to multiply, once again, you want to store something for x, which we've already done, so we don't have to do it again. And you want to go open x squared minus 3x plus 1, close, it says multiply, so times, open, 2x, close, enter, and I get that number there. I would write it down. And then I would put each of my answer choices in the calculator and see which one gave me that same number. When you solve, remember everything before the equal sign goes to y1. Everything after goes to y2. You got to be careful with the fraction and put anything in the top in parentheses. So go into y1. We're going to clear it. And we're going to say open x plus 3 close divided by 4. Except it needs to say divide. Divided by 4. And then at y2 we're going to say x divided by 2. And when you have something at y1 and y2, you go second, calc 5, let it draw, enter, 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 and the x is what you care about, x equal 3. That's your solution. Okay, remember you went second, calc 5. All right, just a quick refresher. If y is greater than, and you do this on a number line, it would probably be x, okay, on the number line. You're going to shade, you're going to have an open circle and you're going to shade to the right. Still sticking with the number line, if it is y is greater than or equal to, you would have a solid circle and shade to the right. Because you're going to have your problem over here on this side, right? So on this one, if y is less than, you're going to draw an open circle and shade to the left. Less than or equal to, you're going to have a solid circle and shade to the left. For y is greater than, on a graph, you're going to shade above, and it's going to be dashed. So it would be like a dashed line, and then you would shade above. Greater than or equal to is above, but solid. You would have a solid line, and you would shade above. So solid and above. Less than is going to be dashed, and not an either, below. So if this was your line, it would look something like that. And then less than or equal to is solid and below. So it would be like this, or it could be like this. Okay, so just keep in mind all of your shading rules, your open circle, closed circle, all that good stuff as you work through these problems, because it's going to crop up as you work on your end of course. All right, that's the end of your notes. You're ready to start your assignment.